Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be with you guys today. We are going to be diving deep into my thoughts about living down here in the Miami area. So if you would like to hear what I think, as well as this early fall makeup look, it just kind of turned into this, to be honest. But if you want to see how to get this look and hear about my experience in Miami, then just keep on watching. Oh my goodness, you guys, I am so happy to be doing this video. It's been a minute since I sat down and talked to you guys just for fun. Like, my last video was me talking you guys through how I dye my hair. I actually probably like 2 days later went and got these braids, which was perfect timing because my braids actually look way better than what they would have with how much my roots had grew. So if you've not seen that video, I will link it in the corner of this video. I believe it's this corner. It's actually been 2 years and 2 months exactly to the day that I have lived in Miami, Florida. Technically, I live in a suburb. Much easier to just say Miami, I feel like. Unless I'm talking to somebody that actually lives here, then I'm more inclined to be like, oh, I live in this suburb or whatever. But just in general, I would say Miami or just South Florida. I am 25 minutes from Miami without traffic. But I'm excited to share with you guys everything that I've learned from someone that's not from Miami, and I live in a suburb and all of that. So I actually have notes on my phone on everything that I want to talk about. So let's get to it. But first, I am going to be trying a few new things as well as some things that I already like. I will have everything that I'm using in this video down in the description box on my LTK, but it will be a direct link to it. I'm going to be mixing these two foundations together. I just recently went to a MAC event, so I am going to be using the MAC Studio Radiant Serum Powered Foundation, NC45 and NC47 mixed together. Now, like I said, everything will be linked. Just in case I stop like saying what it is that I'm using. I don't even know where to start. I absolutely freaking love Miami. Of course, everywhere you live, there's going to be things that you don't like, but like that don't outweigh what I love about the city. So like I said, I do live in a suburb. So I guess the first thing that I'll start with is, so if you've ever been to Miami, then you know the traffic is like on another level. Regardless if you live in Miami or not, you're going to get traffic when you're in Miami or trying to get to Miami. I will say though, if you live in a suburb, you have every single thing that you need in every suburb. I swear, when I actually go and I guess explore the other suburbs, I find that everything is there. It usually has its own shopping mall, shopping center, their own Target, their own everything. All the restaurants that you can fall in love with, they have so many options in each suburb. If you didn't want to go to Miami, you don't really have to go to Miami. Unless like you actually work in Miami, then that's a whole nother thing. But like if you work in your area and you live in a suburb, you really don't have to go to Miami unless you just want to do something specific in Miami. But your regular everyday things and experiences can all be done within your suburb, which I think is a super cool thing. I will say though, I'm not gonna be living in a suburb forever. I think when my lease runs out this time, I actually am going to, well, before that, because I want to actually be ready for that, but I think I'm gonna look into moving into Miami because I'm still young, I'm still single. It's mostly families in suburbs of Miami, and I just feel like it's more of a scene in Miami, and just I'll be able to be closer to everything. But I think it was beautiful to live in a suburb for the time period that I did, because I was able to really know what area I want to move to, because I do have a sense of where I want to move to. It's really cool if you're able to spend time in the place that you want to move to specifically before you actually move to it, because I had a different idea when I first moved here, and since like I've been exploring and stuff, I now have completely changed that idea of where I want to live. That is really cool. That's a very good benefit to living in a suburb. Now, even deeper into the traffic is that if you live in Miami and you're trying to go somewhere, without traffic it might take you 10 minutes. With traffic it might take you 25-30 minutes, I guess, depending on where you live and where you're trying to go. But for me, it gets crazy. It's like I said, it's 25 minutes without traffic, it can get up to an hour and a half for me to get back either out here or there with traffic, and it's crazy. But I will add, like, the little thing is I'm probably one of maybe like 10 people in Miami that don't mind traffic. I always like find something to do while I'm driving. I'm either on the phone or I'm listening to a podcast. So I don't know, I don't mind it, but I also don't love it either, to where I don't want to do this forever. I want to actually live in Miami, at least for a little bit. I might end up making my way back out to the suburbs, but I do want to at least get that experience of actually living in Miami. There's so much to do in Miami. Which is another aspect. I guess that's my next point, is so much to do in this city. It's crazy. I did not know that at all. I guess I should go like kind of back in time and tell you guys that Miami was never on my radar to move to. So I didn't really know anything about the city until, like I told you guys, I was in a relationship with a guy that was from here. So I didn't know really until I met him everything there was to do, and even more so after moving here. We're no longer together, so everything pretty much since I've lived here I've just learned by doing it on my own and with the friends that I have made here. But it's crazy because this was never on my radar, and I find that depending on where you're from molds your idea of vacation. Where I'm from, people wasn't like normally traveling to Miami. When people went vacations, they went to like the northern part of Florida, but Miami was not a place that I heard about growing up that people were going to vacation. So because of that, that kind of molded my view to where I just didn't know anything about Miami. And this is such a beautiful place to live. It's not for everybody, but I definitely think it's a really beautiful place to live. And to that point, so I went back in time. Now I'm saying there is so much to do, especially coming from somebody that lives in a smaller city than Miami. I wouldn't say that Memphis is a small city, but it's definitely smaller than Miami. There's so much to do. Like, you can go to the city if you want to go to the city, which is Brickell area in downtown. You can go to the beach, which is everything along the coast, and you can pick what style beach you want, basically. Like, if you want something that has a lot of tourists, you can do that. If you want a very calm, low-key beach, you can do that. You can even go to like a mini island. I guess you could say Biscayne, like far Biscayne area is like a mini island. And pretty much every single tour, concert meaning, comes here. Celebrity sightings, basketball, football, hockey team, all of it, soccer team, all of it. Like, there's so much entertainment down here. Pretty much always sunny unless it's hurricane season. That's one of my favorite things about living in Miami, is that there's so much to do, and the restaurants are experiences on top of an actual restaurant, which is so cool. So you're not only getting the restaurant, but you're also getting experiences, which I will be honest with you, that do kind of get old a little bit because it's priced for an experience as well as food. So a lot of them are a little overpriced, but then a lot of them aren't. So you just kind of gotta try them out and see when it comes to that. When I first moved here, I thought it was so funny that most people thought that I spoke Spanish. And so since then, I have really tried to learn Spanish, and I understand so much more now than when I first moved here. Absolutely love the different cultures that are down here. And you get to learn a lot about things outside of yourself, especially coming from a smaller city. I learned so much. I feel like my thought process is bigger because of the experiences that I've had within a different city, different culture, different way of life, which granted can be done in other cities as well, like even just moving outside of your hometown, period. But I feel like down here, because there's such a mix of cultures, it's rare for me to meet somebody that is American, like African American. So I think this has taught me so much, like about so many other cultures, and even the food. Like, there's so many different types of food down here. Another thing from, I guess this really isn't even about like me suburban living. I guess the traffic was, but the events was just Miami, the culture. So as far as like what it's like living in a suburb, you do feel like a distance away, which I was kind of saying with the traffic. It's hard for you to just like happen upon stuff when you live in a suburb. I think there's so much more, even more to do when you actually live in the thick of it, because you're able to see so many things that happen last minute, the different events and stuff that happen within the city. So I do feel like you kind of miss out living in a suburb if you care about that. If you specifically want to live in a suburb, then you wouldn't mind that. I feel like I'm jumping all over the place because now I'm going back to Spanish, but I am actually on day 454 streak on Duolingo. Look, actually, if you guys are on Duolingo, drop below your username so we can connect. I think that would be super cool. And then it's really nice because I'm able to practice, because this is such a bilingual city. Everybody pretty much speak both, or at least know a little bit. And you know what's funny in that is that I have a clear accent that's completely different than what people are used to. So I find that I have to re-say even just my name when I'm putting my name in, like for a reservation or telling people name like at an event when they just asking what my name is. I feel like I have to re-say it all the time because apparently I'm saying it in a very heavily accented way, and a lot of people think I'm saying Tyler instead of Taylor, and it's so interesting. But it's because I talk different than most people that live down here, and I of course cannot hear my accent, so I feel like I just sound normal, but I know I don't based on what people say. But I actually have been having a ton of fun just learning a second language and being immersed in it. It's nice because when you even try to speak Spanish, people are appreciative, I find, more so than not. Another thing that has happened since I moved down here is I swear you get used to the palm trees so fast, which is so sad. I swear that is so freaking sad. I remember when I used to come down here and visit, when I would get off the plane, see my first palm tree, I would be like, yes, I've made it to paradise. But now, I mean, they're everywhere. So sad. For eyes, I actually want to play with this palette. I feel like it matches my hair, the background, just all the colors in this video, but it's such a pretty palette, so I want to play with this. So okay, most of the video was about the fun stuff, but let's dig into a little bit more tea. So in my humble opinion, I think people are way more superficial down here than from where I'm from. People care about things very much surface level, like how you look. Appearances matter way more. What car you drive, what bag you have, what apartment you live in, like all of that matters more than, I feel like, just the conversation you have. There are a lot of good people here too as well, but I think I've ran into more superficial instances than anything else, which I think is really annoying. In like a very immature sense, that's my term. It's annoying. It really is. It's unfortunate that it's that way. I think people have way more to bring to the table than the things that they own and things that they have, but that's just kind of the culture down here in a different way than what I was talking about when it comes to all the different countries that people are from that live down here. I'm just talking about Miami culture, like South Florida culture, like in the way that people act. It comes across a little more superficial. I will say though, there are a lot of people that actually do have money down here in Florida. It's expensive to live down here, especially living directly in Miami. So a lot of people have money. They actually do have money. And what happens is, if you're trying to be in those circles or accepted by those kind of, I guess, superficial people, which not all of them are. Not everybody that got money are superficial. But what happens is a lot of people try to fake having it. So then you have situations in which people, even in dating, people will fake having whatever they have because of just the way the culture is down here. And like I said, it is unfortunate, but that's just what it is. Don't get me wrong, I love some designer, but it's just a different way that it is down here. People are particular on the way that they treat you if you have on designer, or if you've accomplished something super cool, it completely changes their demeanor. Which, believe it or not, I'm not actually 100% saying that that is completely a bad thing. I actually like what it has taught me, more so for me than anything else, because people gonna make assumptions about you regardless of what you have on. Really, the people that I really want to be friends with are not looking at what I got on. I do appreciate putting a little bit more thought into what I'm wearing and what I'm wearing it to. I will say that. In the same exact breath, it is unfortunate that it's like that, period. Depending on who you are, that can really make you change who you are when you move down here. It's just something that you have to pay attention to and just keep checking in with yourself if those kind of things really affect you like that, because it's easy to go down that road for sure. Okay, let me actually say what I'm using. So I'm using this shade for the crease, and then I use this goldish copper, actually not gold, copper shade right here, and then now I'm about to go in with this shade in the inner corner. I actually did want to use the greens in the palette, but I guess not. There are some really good people here though, so I don't want y'all to think that from me saying that everybody is like that, because that is not true at all. If you decide to move down here or whatever the case, or just, you know, if you're just curious about if you ever live down here, I would say just make sure you check in with yourself and do things for you and not the crowd, for sure. I'm going to try the Win Beauty by Serena Williams, the Glide Line Focus Black Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. I'm gonna do like a little wing, I think. Nothing too crazy. I've never tried this, so. Also never tried the eyeshadow palette either. The eyeshadow palette was nice. It looks like so is this liner. Look how little that wing is. When I said little, I guess I really meant little. And another thing that's interesting is I promise before you move down here, you're gonna swear up and down that you're gonna go to the beach all the time. I swear it's been so long since I've been to the beach. I have been itching to go to the beach. I actually realized recently what I think the problem is, and I will be able to really tell once I move into Miami, but I'm thinking it might be the commute for what I'm actually doing. Because it's like, okay, if you coming on a trip and you have a hotel and all that, usually you right there at it. So you just pop in and then you pop back to the hotel, shower real quick, and then do everything else. When you live here, it's almost like that's really it. Like, you need to just go to the beach. First, you gotta get everything together before you go to the beach. Get your beach bag together, your sunscreen, your snacks, water, hat, towel, swimsuit, umbrella, everything that you need. You need to get all that together. Then you need to be particular on where you're going after, because you're gonna be full of sand after. You putting that in your car. Then you gotta drive all the way back to where you live. And if you live in a suburb, it's even more so like, okay, well now it's like in the dead of traffic and it's gonna take me an hour and a half to get back home. And it's just like, I didn't even do anything but go to the beach, you know? It's crazy how much you really just don't go if you live in a suburb. Even the people that I meet that actually live in Miami, they say they don't go as much as they thought they would either. So in my mind, I think I might go more if I lived in Miami, but at the same time, would I? Which is sad, to be honest, because the beach is right there, girl. This is a good liner. I like that it isn't shiny really once it dries, at least not that shiny. Lashes, I'm gonna use the Lily Lashes Passionate Lashes, which is one of my go-to lashes these days. I feel like I've been wearing them every single time I do my makeup. And when people ask me like, so how do you like Miami, I always say I absolutely love it, but it is so hot. It is incredibly hot down here, especially because it is the summertime right now, but it's really only like 1.5 seasons, to be honest, because it get like a little cooler in the winter months, but that's why I give it the half. But for the most part, it is hot, humid hot. I guess you just adjust. I take my fan everywhere these days, because before I wasn't. I was just kind of melting with everybody else. But then I'm just like, shoot, it is a little obnoxious to bring, just because it's like juggling this, your purse, phone, all that. But I'd rather have it than not have it, that's for sure. This is giving like fall inspired. I'm going through packages today and I remembered, just got the new, what is this, Hypnos Drama Mascara from Lancome. It's everything you love about drama, volume, and lift, but multiplied 17 times the volume for lashes. That's like my favorite thing when it not me gasping, but that's my favorite thing when it comes to, oh, the packaging was kind of messed up, so let me fix it and then show you guys how it looks. These just came out of the little loops, but it has the Lancome Booster XL, which is something you put on before you put on the mascara to amplify the mascara. And then this is the new Lancome Hypnose, what did I say? Hypnose Drama Mascara. I'm just gonna try the mascara right now because I'm only gonna use this on my lower lashes, so I don't think I really need the primer first. I like the wand. Ooh. Second coat. I see the volume. I see you. Oh my gosh. Let me kind of get close. You guys can kind of see the volume on my lower. That's nice. And when I do coats of mascara, I don't let the previous one dry all the way. I might let it like half dry and then do it. Wow. The more I add the volume, I love volumizing mascaras. That's my favorite. Like lengthening, cool. But volume? Okay. I need to figure out, this might sound crazy, but I need to figure out what lip I'm wearing so I can figure out what blush I'm wearing. You know what? Actually, let me put a little bit on the top. I'm gonna use Freckle from Rhode. I just did not expect it to be that pink. I'm gonna put on top the L'Oreal Infallible Daring Rosewood. Random thought that I had about Miami is that most of the clubs that you go to have house music, which is more like the unts music. And it took me a while to understand. So when I first started going out, when I first moved here, like, you know, just to see the Miami scene, I was noticing that it was all that music, and I just thought they was going to do like periods in the club, that it was just gonna be house music, then they was gonna switch to another genre and then maybe back to that. But no ma'am. If that club is playing house music that night, that particular night, it's gonna be that. There are a few places that will have hip-hop nights, and there are a few places that are just like R&B and hip-hop for real, but majority of the music here is house music when you go like to clubs and stuff. And that honestly was something I definitely had to get used to, like I said, because that is not at all I didn't know what it was called when I first moved down here, because that was not the music that would be out at places or when people would have house parties. When living in Memphis, it was always R&B and hip-hop. This is really about to be an early fall makeup look, I swear. Because I'm about to do a deep reddish purple. This lip color, Fenty Beauty, but what is it called? It is called Hot Chocolate. The Gloss Bomb Sticks. A little bit of highlight. I'm going to use the Fenty Mean Money Hustler Baby. I don't even know why I have to look at the name. I love this highlighter. Boom. Wow, early fall. For real. My first spray I'm gonna use is the Morphe Continuous Prep and Set Mist Plus, and then to waterproof everything, which I swear this whole base routine that I did is my waterproof, sweatproof, ain't going nowhere in Miami humidity makeup routine. Because I wear the same amount of layers and everything regardless. It's the way that I do the routine. Yes, I was mostly talking, so it might have been hard to see, but the way that I do the routine is very resistant to the weather outside. And when I say like 90s in the middle of the day feels like 110, that's what it is out there. I'm still gonna sweat, I'm still gonna get oily and all that, but the makeup is still gonna be there. So I use this setting spray first, and then this, but also every single other thing that I did goes into play as well. But this is my second one. It's the One Side Until Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray, which that spray even smells industrial. That's how you know it ain't playing. Oh wow, this is definitely early fall. I'm bringing the fall weather. I'm gonna throw on a black turtleneck to even finish it out. So I'll be right back. Completed full look with outfit, jewelry, everything is reminding me so much of the looks that I would specifically make when I lived back at home and we actually had all 4 seasons. Now I feel like I could do this look any time of the year because it never gets cold down here. Not like that, at least. It gets a little but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my point of view, I guess, of living down here. Make sure you let me know down in the comments what videos you would like to see from me. And yeah, make sure that you subscribe before you leave. Thumbs up this video, and I promise I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.